Lena, we need your room. The cool, businesslike tone of my stepmother's voice echoed down the hallway. There wasn't a shred of warmth in it. I looked up from my dual monitors, where I had spent the day refining algorithms for real-time trading since the break of dawn. Excuse me? I asked, taken aback. Emma's moving back in. She's fresh from Wharton with her MBA, she continued, her words cutting through the air. She needs a proper space to set up her consulting hub. And your room gets the best Wi-Fi. Her eyes scanned my workspace, dismissing it as clutter, rather than code. You'll be fine in the garage. We cleared it out this morning. I was 26, living in my late grandfather's estate in Palo Alto, now ruled by my father and stepmother like royalty in Silicon Valley. I worked remotely for a crypto hedge fund while building my own platform on the side. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. But that didn't seem to matter to them. The garage? It's not even insulated, I protested. Maybe this will light a fire under you, my father chimed in as he entered without knocking. It's time you stopped playing techie and started thinking seriously about your future. Like Emma. Emma. The polished Ivy League graduate with a consulting firm that had yet to secure a single client, but still made it into the family Christmas cards like she'd won a Nobel Prize. I already have a job, I muttered, thinking of my role as lead quant at a growing DeFi startup, and the stealth project I was working on. None of that mattered to them. Not when Emma's shiny LinkedIn updates were the standard of success. You playing stock market on your laptop isn't a job, my stepmother scoffed. Emma needs this space for real work. She's going places. I glanced at the walls around me, covered with flowcharts and drafts for my AI-based investment engine. To them it looked like chaos. To me it was the foundation of my legacy. Fine, I said, returning to my code. I'll go. It wasn't defeat. It was simply the end of 3 years of silent belittling. 3 years of watching them toast Emma's so-called success while ignoring my hard work. You've got until noon, my father ordered. Her desk is being delivered tomorrow. Noon. That almost made me laugh. Because at noon tomorrow, Lena Carter's fintech system, Zephyr, would officially go live. That night, as I packed up my monitors, my phone buzzed. A text from Sahil, my CTO. Launch protocol locked. Zephyr goes live at 12 o'clock PST. 1-800 go PST. Perfect. I smiled to myself. The ripple effect was about to begin in less than 24 hours. For 3 relentless years, I had been fine-tuning an advanced predictive algorithm capable of analyzing global market trends and executing trades with near-clairvoyant precision. What they had dismissed as me playing the stock market had grown into Zephyr Technologies, a fintech powerhouse hidden behind layers of legal shields and offshore entities. Meanwhile, my father continued boasting about Emma's next client pitch, while I quietly built a trading engine that would outpace Wall Street itself. That startup I worked for? A cover. The real company, Zephyr, occupied the top floors of a downtown San Francisco skyscraper. Unmarked. Unbreachable. Tomorrow, Zephyr would unveil its first public-facing product, Zephyr Pulse, an autonomous trading platform designed to disrupt legacy institutions. A new text from Sahil. Phase 1 confirmed. Zephyr's acquisition of Meridian Trust is finalized. Meridian Trust, my family's bank. The same institution that funded Emma's tuition and their lavish upgrades. All while telling me there was no room in the budget to support my first startup. Tomorrow morning, they would wake up to find that their beloved bank now answered to me. I sealed the final box as Emma's voice echoed down the hall. Mom, the decorator needs to know if we're going with modern glam or coastal chic for Lena's old room. My room. My sanctuary. The one they had always said was temporary until someone more successful came along. I thought about the graduation they skipped to go wine tasting, or the startup launch I funded with my own credit cards, while they posted about Emma's so-called entrepreneurial spirit. Lena, my stepmother's voice cut in. Don't forget to leave your house key. You won't be coming back. I placed the key on the desk wordlessly. They were right. I wasn't coming back. As I loaded the last box into my car, I could hear them in the kitchen, buzzing about accent walls and velvet drapes. This space should reflect real ambition, not whatever Lena was doing, they chirped. I slid into the driver's seat and opened my laptop. Typing in one line of code, I hit enter. Initiate Tiger Precaution Authorization. Zephyr Prime. The alert blinked across my screen. Protocol Tiger initiated. System-wide execution begins in 8 hours. I closed my laptop and started the car. Not a luxury coupe like Emma's, but a modest hybrid. Unassuming. Intentional. Just one more piece of the mask I'd worn for years. Because tomorrow, everything would change. Tomorrow, they would understand what true success looks like. But before they could witness the power, they would feel helpless. I drove through the glowing city streets to my true home, a penthouse on the top floor of arc-like towers, the most exclusive residence in San Francisco. The valet opened the garage, the concierge greeted me by name, and the elevator whisked me up to a private foyer. Up here, I wasn't the underachiever. I was Miss Carter, the elusive founder of Zephyr Technologies. I entered my sleek home office, the screens flickering with real-time data. Zephyr Pulse was primed for launch. This wasn't just about disrupting Wall Street anymore. The system we were deploying would scan and flag illicit financial flows, exposing sketchy accounting practices, particularly the ones that had kept Carter Equity Holdings falsely inflated for years. The same firm my father had used to establish Chloe's undisclosed trust accounts, while advising me to build something of my own. A buzz on my phone broke my thoughts. A new message: family group chat. Dinner tomorrow night at Bellara to celebrate Chloe's consulting debut. Lena, you're welcome to join if you've figured out your living situation. Wear something appropriate. Bellara. Their favorite place to flaunt their wealth. The same restaurant where, 5 years ago, they toasted Chloe's MBA while I worked 2 blocks away, waiting tables to save for my first laptop. Tomorrow they would use their platinum cards, blissfully unaware that the institution backing them now belonged to me. I'll be there, I replied. Then I opened the folder labeled Project Homecoming, a detailed dossier documenting every instance of favoritism, neglect, and financial hypocrisy. It was cross-referenced with Zephyr's internal files, all leading to our upcoming acquisition of Carter Equity and its affiliated banks. Miss Carter, the board is assembled for the final launch briefing, my assistant, Sophia, announced over the intercom. Thank you, Sophia. I'm on my way. I paused before the mirror. No more playing small. No more invisibility. I wasn't Lena, the afterthought, anymore. Tomorrow night at Bellara, I wouldn't be crashing their celebration, I would be rewriting the narrative. As I made my way to dinner, I imagined them laughing, toasting Chloe's latest so-called success, oblivious to what was coming. My phone buzzed again. Another secure message from Sahil. Tiger protocol fully deployed. All systems exceeding projected benchmarks. Meridian Trust acquisition confirmed. Ownership established. I slid my phone into my clutch and stepped through the gold-framed doors of Bellara, the family social temple. Felix, the maitre d', spotted me immediately. Not as Lena, the overlooked daughter, but as Miss Carter, the principal owner of the very building we were standing in. Your usual table, Miss Carter? Felix asked, bowing slightly. I shook my head, my eyes scanning the room. Not tonight, Felix. I'm joining them. I approached just as Chloe was describing her new office with perfect pride. Top floor, 47th story, skyline on one side, Bay Bridge on the other, she beamed, pointing with her manicured fingers. My stepmother's eyes widened slightly when she saw me. Lena, you actually came? We've already ordered, my father added without looking up. I had a few things to take care of, I said evenly, taking the last seat, farthest from the center as always. Business? Chloe smirked, her voice dripping with condescension. Is that what you call couch surfing these days? My father finally looked up, no doubt still checking his Carter Equity stock. You're staying somewhere respectable, right? We have a family name to uphold. Before I could answer, Chloe jumped in again. The CEO personally walked me through orientation. He says I could be a director in 5 years. I cut in smoothly. Speaking of directors, did you hear about the board overhaul at Meridian Trust? My father paused. What overhaul? Just then, a server arrived with fresh champagne. My stepmother reached for her purse. Let's get another bottle. It's a celebration, after all. My treat. She extended her platinum card and I knew exactly what would happen. Minutes later, the waiter returned, his tone tense. Apologies, ma'am, but your card was declined. That's absurd, she snapped. Try again. 3 times already, ma'am. Perhaps another card. My father, visibly annoyed, pulled out his card. The waiter returned once more, his expression apologetic. I'm sorry, sir. This one has also been declined. Chloe sighed softly, then reached for her Morgan Stanley corporate card. Fine. Here, let me. If you're still with me, you're about to see what real power looks like, I said quietly, my voice cutting through the tension in the room. So hit that subscribe button, and join me for the moment they realize the person they dismissed now controls everything they thought they owned. That won't work either, I said calmly, setting my water glass down. All heads turned toward me. What do you mean? My father asked sharply, already sensing the shift. I met his gaze, steady and unyielding. Meridian Trust has undergone a change in leadership. As of midnight, all account activity is under new management. My stepmother's face drained of color. What are you saying? Protocol Tiger, I replied, leaning back in my chair, watching as realization dawned behind my father's eyes. He had spent decades in finance, but this was something new. That's impossible, he muttered. Zephyr system. The one everyone's been talking about, I confirmed. It just finalized its acquisition of Meridian Trust. Chloe blinked, confused. What does that have to do with our cards not working? Standard protocol. I folded my hands calmly. The system flagged a series of suspicious activities across your personal and corporate accounts. Hidden trusts, unusual transfers, creative tax routing. Until everything is cleared, all assets are frozen. My father's face darkened. How do you know this? I smiled. Because I built it. I am Zephyr Technologies. Silence fell like a bomb. Even Chloe's constant hum of self-congratulation ceased. That's absurd, she finally said. You work at some garage startup. A cover, I replied coolly. Zephyr operates through dozens of shell firms. That little startup you heard of? It's just one node in a global structure. We employ over 3,000 people in 15 countries. As of today, we control the infrastructure of your entire financial footprint. My stepmother's hand shook as she clutched her napkin. But you're just what? Just the girl you told to sleep in the garage? Just the disappointment who wasn't worth investing in? Just the one who wasn't Emma? I reached into my clutch, pulling out a black, unmarked card and handing it to the hovering waiter. A small Zephyr Prime insignia glinted in the corner of my phone screen. The champagne's on me, I thought. Actually, everything they've ordered here for the last 5 years has been on me. I bought this building 3 years ago. The waiter gave a small bow. Of course, Miss Carter. Carter, my father repeated, his voice thick with disbelief. You're Lena Carter? I nodded once, steady and calm. The same Lena Carter who built the very system you just tried to use? I continued, a thin smile playing on my lips. You might have missed that. Too busy following Chloe's press mentions to notice what I was building. Chloe's lips parted slightly, her face draining of color. And yes, the Morgan Stanley merger. Their trading platform partner is Zephyr. You'll be using my tech. I leaned back in my chair, letting the weight of my words settle in the air. If you're still watching after this, you've seen the false start. But trust me, it's only just beginning. Hit subscribe because next, you'll learn what it means when the girl you dismissed becomes the architect of your downfall. I turned to Chloe. Protocol Tiger has already flagged some unusual activity in your department's trading history. So, if I were you, I wouldn't bank on that director track. My stepmother leaned across the table, her voice trembling. Eva, sweetheart, can't we talk about this? We're still family. I stood slowly, letting my eyes meet each of theirs. My father's face flushed with anger. My stepmother's was pale with fear. Chloe sat frozen in stunned silence. Family doesn't evict you for not being the favorite, I said, my voice firm and unwavering. Family doesn't ignore your achievements just because they weren't handed down through connections. Family doesn't skip your graduation for a weekend at the yacht club. I picked up my purse, deep green alligator leather, subtle yet unmistakably elite, worth more than the sedan my father bragged about in his office garage. Your accounts will remain frozen until our audit is complete, I continued coldly. And based on what Protocol Tiger is uncovering, I'd prepare for a call from the SEC, probably before the weekend. You can't do this, my father growled. I already did, I said, a smile playing at the corner of my mouth. I paused mid-turn. Oh, and Chloe? I tilted my head. If you're looking for a place to crash, I hear the garage gets excellent sunlight this time of year. I walked out without looking back. Behind me, I could hear my stepmother's muffled sobs, my father's angry muttering, and Chloe's stunned silence. In my hand, my phone buzzed with an encrypted update from Sahil. Protocol Tiger response. Historic. Zephyr stock has tripled since opening. I couldn't help but laugh under my breath. That cramped garage they had condemned me to, it was where I wrote the first line of code for Zephyr Technologies. It was the beginning of the system that now owned their legacy. Over the next few weeks, everything unraveled. The SEC investigation exposed years of shady ledgers at Carter Equity Holdings. Chloe's position at Morgan Stanley was dissolved during a full corporate restructuring. My stepmother's social invitations disappeared faster than their frozen accounts. And me? I kept building. Not for their recognition, but because I finally understood that true success isn't about boardroom bragging rights or inherited prestige. It's about creating something with real impact. These days, when people ask me how it all started, I tell them the truth. Sometimes getting kicked out is the best thing that can happen to you. And sometimes the best revenge is served with a declined platinum card at their favorite table in Bellara. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you for listening. Thank you for seeing what they refused to see in me for years. I wasn't the perfect daughter. I wasn't the golden child. But I was the one who built something from nothing. And maybe that's why I'm speaking to you now. Because I know I'm not alone. So, tell me, have you ever been overlooked, doubted, treated like a burden in your own home while someone else was handed the spotlight? Drop a comment below and share your story. I want to hear from you because this isn't just about me. It's about all of us who were told we weren't enough and then proved we were more than they ever imagined. And if you've ever been pushed out, cast aside, or underestimated, don't break. Build. Build something so powerful that one day those who dismissed you will have no choice but to see you. Hit that subscribe button if you believe in that kind of power. Not revenge for revenge's sake, but the kind of quiet victory that changes everything. Because sometimes the best thing they can do is doubt you. And the best thing you can do is rise anyway.